One of the first mountains I ever climbed was McKinley. And some guys are like, you're starting off with McKinley? That's kind of a little much. The Baja 1000, as far as off-road races go, is at the top of the list. Being out there on your own, you get off the bike, you brake or whatever, and you're 60, 80 miles away from any civilization. You can't just raise your hand and go, hey, I'm done. I love to ride. It's a place I can go escape, and when I'm on the bike, it's awesome. I go down and ride in Baja a lot for fun. Gnarliest terrain I've ever seen. Up and down, hill climbs, dropping into these valleys. That type of riding right there I love. Well, I started riding when I was real little, and it's always been a passion of mine. All my brothers and I grew up working on our own bikes, and my dad would be like, hey, listen, before you even ride it, you have to read the whole manual and learn how to maintain it. Kind of at the time, I didn't think that was cool, but looking back on it, it taught us a lot of responsibility. Like, hey, you can't just get on the bike and ride it until it dies. You have to lube the chain and all the good stuff that goes with riding a motorcycle. Through the years and all through high school, rode, and then basically as soon as I graduated, I went into the Navy. After becoming a team guy, I kind of got into the whole climbing scene and obviously the skydiving scene. What I was able to do in the teams wasn't enough for me, so I went outside the SEAL teams and pursued it on my own. We've got just over 3,000 jumps, all the way from a military C-17 to a hot air balloon. That's one of my other passions, as well as climbing. Occasionally we do expeditions. I'm up to Alaska and around the world, so. I guess now, especially after getting ready to retire, and I'm at the point where, I'm done going to war, so you go at race speed for 10 years straight, and all of a sudden it's over, you're like, what am I gonna do now? This will be the first time I've ever raced the Baja 1000, and I guess now that I have the time that I'm working less, it's been one of the things I've always wanted to do. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff to do, climbing and jumping out of planes, but I think the Baja 1000 is kind of at the top of the list. Yeah, so the race right here starts up in Ensenada and goes all the way down into La Paz. It's 1,120 miles total. Basically what we did was we strategically kind of took blocks in the race course. The other three riders are taking the northern section here. And right here, I'll be getting on the bike out of San Ignacio. And then Bill and I have kind of divided up the bottom end. Bill has a ton of experience and knowledge. He's raced 1,000 several times in a car, did the 500 on a bike, and it's a great year to do it. And kind of the opportunity presented itself at the perfect time. And my brother Ryan, he's kind of like, hey man, you're not going to do the 250, the 500 first, just jumping right into the 1,000. And I was like, hey, what the hell, Whether you're at 19,000 at Denali Pass, whether it's to race the Baja 1000 or whatever, the thought of me getting on the bike at night, being out there on your own somehow, I don't know why, but it I guess drives me. Yeah, so this is pretty much the bike prep area / training area for me. Obviously I've been training really hard for the race, riding a lot as well as working out. Where I really started to focus on training was when I met Andy. And Andy and I got together and we started doing that type of core workouts where you can go to specific training for whatever, if you ride motorcycles, if you climb, or whatever it is. When it first started out, a couple of guys were swinging kettlebells, and nowadays it's, guys are beating up big tires with sledgehammers. Here's the race bike right here. We're prepping it right now. So basically you buy the bike brand new, brought it back, tore it all down, sent the motor and all the suspension up to Pro Circuit. There's a lot of people out there that prep bikes and stuff, but if you take your bike to pro circuit to get it prepped or get any suspension work, I mean, you're guaranteed satisfaction.
Break it in, I mean, I just run a couple heat cycles through it, get it warm.
So a couple of things we did. A must is the Scott stabilizer up here, mandatory for desert, keeps everything going in a straight line. Know what you want to do. So we'll be running bib moose tubes. It's an all foam tube, so you can't get a flat. We can't afford to get a flat 40 miles from a pit. It'll put you out of a race for sure. So right out of the factory, the thing's good to go, but for 1,100 mile race down in Mexico, you gotta beef it up and just making it bomb proof. Hey, appreciate you hanging around.
Oh, no problem.
So,
Thank you very much.
all right, man, see you. So, yeah, I have an appointment up north to Huntington Beach to meet with Ryan Arciero and Larry Rossler. They both drive trophy trucks for Turbo Herbst off-road. I mean, they're just a wealth of knowledge. Larry's been racing ever since I was pretty young. He's got a couple Baja 1000 on a bike under his belt, so definitely a good bit of knowledge to tap into for sure.
This is impressive. Pretty sick, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think our ride's a little bit different than yours.
Yeah.
Tell us what you got going on.
We've got myself, one of my best friends from high school, Bill Witt, and 3 other guys are teamed up to race 1,000 this year.
You got the guy to my left here has done it many times on a motorcycle, has won it many times on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah, I know Larry. He's a legend definitely in the motorcycle world.
So I'm assuming you're riding a 450?
Yeah, CRF 450X.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just picked up a brand new one at 12. And between the two of them, I mean, you're talking over, almost 50 years of experience in racing in general, and then down in Baja. And I mean, got a ton of good information out of them, as well as meeting them, great guys. It was great.
Well, it's going to be a great adventure for you, I'm sure. It's like anything, preparation is the key. As you probably well know in your line of work, it's all about preparation, and physically, mentally, I don't think you're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
Shoot, you should have just rode it solo.
it's funny, as long as I've been doing it, and I know Larry's been doing it longer than I have. I've been doing it for 20-something years. He's done it a lot longer than that. And,
you're aging me here.
But experience down there is huge, and I was humbled a little bit when I first had my first race. And my dad, had always taught me, he says, to finish first, you first must finish. Mm-hmm. And especially with Baja, and I think that's the biggest thing is the win should be the furthest thing from your mind.
Sure.
It's all about, okay, I got to be Baja. If I can't beat Baja, how am I supposed to be anybody else?
Exactly.
And Baja has such a strange way of teaching you some life lessons when you're down there. So.
Right.
You can get wrapped up in the moment a little bit and start getting a little racy, and it'll bite you. So,
from the word go, our team motto is, hey, just ride to finish, and you got to beat Baja before you beat the race. So the biggest thing I took away was just those guys actually reinforcing that fact. So it was killer. Well worth the trip, that's for sure. Drove up last night from San Diego. We're in Vegas doing a little bike test this weekend. I don't know about these lights. They're just too small. They look tiny. The other guys will be riding during the day. I'm going to be on the bike all night long.
Tyler Bertowski is our first rider. He's going to start and go to mile 200 about San Felipe. Steve will go all the way to Laredo.
Basically, I'm going to be racing Bill to the next changeout point, which is right here off Highway 22. I'll tell you right now, if there's any kind of a really, truly a life-threatening injury down there, I mean, your chances of making it are low. Drove up last night from San Diego. We're in Vegas doing a little bike test this weekend. We're also going to be testing our lights out. Getting that motor in is so tricky. Kind of have to go through one system at a time. Like you're going through putting the carburetor on, and you have to make sure everything's hooked up, all the throttle linkage and all the vent tubes. You have to stay focused. You can't really bounce, like hook the throttle linkage up and go, I'm going to put the rear fender on now. Yeah. Is that a wrinkle? That's good. He's gonna start swinging. 40 is our class, Vet 40 Pro, and then they do a draw when you register early. The 9 is the starting position. We'll take it out today, you know, ride it, test it tonight, and then Ryan will take it back to his house and take it apart and go through everything so we can break it in and whatnot. So, you know what we need to go buy? It's a switch, because I didn't bring the switches. Okay, I'll be back. I don't know about these lights. They're just too small, they look tiny. I don't like the way they mount up. Right now we're having to modify the light frame so they don't rub the brake line raw. They're super light. That's the biggest disadvantage with running the dual 8s is that they're really heavy. This is my first time racing the 1000, so I've been out in the desert by myself at night riding, and it's cool because you're relying on yourself, your own skills, and like you said, a little bit of luck there. You're not just doing laps on a motocross track where there's an ambulance sitting right there with paramedics standing by. The biggest thing is you just gotta keep it together mentally and not ride over your head. Because if you ride over your head and get off a bike into a ditch, you know, nobody's gonna find you. Nobody. Not for a long time. But Bill wasn't joking when they said they had everything down here. Oh, perfect. I really hope these lights work out because the other guys are gonna be riding during the day. I'm gonna be on the bike all night long. The lights are kind of a big deal. I'll get Ryan one too for his bike. You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate it, man.
Weekend, all right?
We've got all the other riders coming over, talk about everybody's section. After that, we're gonna load up and take a couple bikes out, start to break the bike in, and let everybody get a chance to ride it.
Tyler Bertowski's our first rider. He's going to start and go mile 200 about San Felipe. And then Steve Fuller get on and take the bike down to Bay of LA. Then we've got Chuck that's going to get on and take it to 600. Steve will go all the way to Laredo. Then I'm going to get on in Laredo, take it about 120 miles. And then Steve will get back on and take the bike another 100. And then I'll get on and take it to the finish.
Basically, I'm going to be racing Bill to the next change-out point, which is right here off of Highway 22.
Constitucion, that's a big area. These guys like to party. They come from this town here. They go out to the race course at night.
This distance from the race course out to that highway is like 4 miles. So they're right there, you know. So they're coming out of the woodwork.
They start bonfires. The later it gets, the drunker they get, the crazier they get. A lot of times they'll throw things at you. Once we leave Laredo, that's where the fun begins. There's a lot of stuff that's going to go into play here. It's going to be late, dark. You know, the fog could roll in down here. It's going to be a challenge.
I'll tell you right now, if there's any kind of a really truly a life-threatening injury down there, you know, I mean, your chances of making it are low. That's what's cool about it, you know. Logistically, it's pretty much a nightmare. Every time you get on a new bike, it's, you know, you're a little leery, but everything worked great. I think we softened up the forks 2 clicks, and other than that, I mean, it felt really good. The lights, I was a little leery about, I gotta lie, but for the most part, I'm very happy with them. They're LED, they're really smooth. It gives out a really nice smooth beam. Even in the whoops, they don't strobe out. I was pleasantly surprised. Overall, I mean, I'm super happy with it. We're at pit 11, this is where I'm getting on the bike. It's a little high anxiety, but I mean, I've been sitting around waiting for the thing, you know, now I'm ready to get on the bike.
Hey! What's up, Chuck? We didn't put a tire on there.
It's been on ever since it can start.
All right, you want to swap it out? Or
no.
What was that, like a 10-minute pit? I think we've been running the same tire since the beginning of the race. It's not good.
Can't afford to get a flat. It'll put you out of a race for sure.
Things going on at the next bit.
A lot of people that race and do this, do that, you know, in the climbing community and the skydiving community, they each have their own little quirks and almost little cults in a way, you know. And yeah, Baja is unique for sure. We got down here Friday, and basically as soon as we crossed the border, got down here and I got on my bike and started pre-running, it was like, all right, I can just relax now. And just soaking up the course and yeah, prepping for it, so. Prior to coming down here, just doing a lot of core strength training, a lot of mountain biking. I didn't want to hit it super hard knowing that I'm going to come down here and ride for 5 or 6 days straight, you know. I mean, getting to come down here and pre-run right before the race is perfect because you basically are able to look at the course conditions and then also at the same time, the best way to train to get ride is to ride. So we're right here in San Ignacio. I'm going to be getting on the bike tomorrow night at about 10 o'clock. My chase guys are Bob, Brent, and Ryan. You know, it's a very challenging race, and I'm doing it with a great team of guys. Those guys have been, I mean, tremendous help. We couldn't do it without them for sure. So we're starting dead last in our class. So I'm not worried about where we place. I just want to get the bike down to La Paz and get everybody down there safely, you know. But yeah, now we're just kind of getting some rest and gonna wait for the bike to show up. Honestly, my biggest fear right now is the bike never makes it to me. All this work, all this prep, I just want the bike to finish, you know?
There's 5 of us racing, so my main goal just to get it to the next guy and just hope the bike makes it to the guys that really put this all together, Billy and Steve.
It's a long, long ways, and there's a lot that can go wrong, and that's our goal, is to get that bike to the finish line.
Chuck just got on today of LA. Yeah. The last update is we're second in our class, 19th overall.
So we still got 5 more hours.
Good?
You? We're at pit 11 in San Ignacio. This is where I'm getting on the bike. And so when it comes in here, we're gonna get a clean filter in it. We're gonna swap out the GPS, and then of course gas. When it gets to me, I'm gonna look at the rear tire. The bike is gonna get a brand new set before Chuck gets on it. So I'm not expecting to change it at all. 200 miles on a rear tire is nothing. It's a little high anxiety. I mean, I've been sitting around all day waiting for the thing, you know, following on our tracker, and now I'm ready to get on the bike for sure. As soon as I get on the bike, it'll be, I can take a breath. So.
What's up, Chuck? We didn't put a tire on there. Spacers didn't fit. All right,
You want to swap it out? Or
yeah, the spacers didn't fit, so we just put it right back on. All right. What place are we in, brother?
What do we do?
We're in third. Third? All right. How far back are we?
It's like fucking 5 minutes.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Hey, that tire's good, right?
How far are you going to go?
230.
I mean, it ran the whole race.
It's been on ever since fucking start.
As far, well, I'm not
You
sure.
got new tires in Bay of LA, right?
No, we didn't put it on in Bay of LA. That's where the spacer didn't fit. You got all that rocky section coming out.
Yeah, fuck it, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
The shark fin is blocking that wheel from going in.
There's a fine line where that has to go. Look in here.
Hey, get a screwdriver, spread that thing apart.
It did 3 times. Yeah.
Looks like it got bent or something.
It's all one piece.
It's all one. There's no way it's bent.
We had to get you another wheel on it. That's not going to go on for some reason.
You want to use that same wheel?
We're going to have to. It's not.
Throw the other one on, yeah.
Damn it.
Did this tire just come off?
Yeah.
Are we on that side?
Yeah, there you go, roll it forward, there you go. All right. Good to go, right?
Yep. What was that, like a 10-minute pit? Fuck.
They're on the same tire that they started with.
This thing's going on at the next pit. They're saying there kept being an issue with them getting a new tire on. So I think we've been running the same tire since the beginning of the race. It's not good.
You're doing a tire, right?
No.
No.
Well, we're gonna ask Steve if he wants to do a quick rear tire change. He's only got 45 race miles to go till he gets the bill, but it's really rocky and technical in this section, so that's what we're worried about. All right, so wrenches, screwdriver, and then the tire. Steve, you got me?
Is it possible that he already went through there? Yeah.
Steve, you got me? All right, hey, bro, got a tire for you before you get the bills because you got that rocky section coming up.
Yeah, I'm already past the pit.
Yeah, I know. We're at VCP 49, so we're 10 miles down the road. You know where the track comes out by the Highway 1?
Yeah, that's it.
You want to do it now?
What's it look like?
It looks fun. Dude, you got 40 miles out of that.
Yep.
Yeah, 40.
Go.
All right, see you. Awesome. Well, over to the next one.
Got to fill it a little bit too Ryan. Just want to let you know we had a rear tire issue. It's still got the same rear tire on. I'll fill you in more about it when we see you on the radio. Right, man. Thanks, bud.
Oh, he should be able to make it, but it's going to be mandatory that we change that at the next pit. Hold on, Bill. He should be in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, we don't know exactly what the issue was, but the wheel that's on the race bike right now, it's got the original tire on it. Because when he came into San Ignacio, they were having trouble getting it on, so they went to put the original one back on. It fit, so I don't know what the issue is.
That bike has the same rear tire. We need to get that on the wheel though.
It's bike.
Wet down there, dude.
On the stand.
Good
job, man.
First bike's running beautiful.
Woo, dude.
Cool, mama.
Good time,
Good job,
huh?
Val.
Yeah.
Yep, we've already given them all the update on the tire.
Very cool.
Get this rear tire, man. I don't know what the deal is with it. When I got on, couldn't get it on. So
No.
Bike. What's going on?
it won't go on. You know, you can't wad the bike up. If you wad the bike up and yourself, you know, we can throw a fresh rider on it, but if you have to spend, 2 hours working on it, bending the subframe back or pounding the pipe off or whatever, if the bike's all jacked up, we're done.
Hopefully we get this tire on. We're gonna have to.
Get the brake caliper in.
The lens is not going on.
The bike.
The bike keeps moving.
There you go.
Be good to go. Bye, brother. You safe the highway, man.
Uh-oh. Wait till this truck goes.
Dude, if I didn't have that moose tube in there, I would have had 10 flats. So I just got off the bike, gave it to Bill here in Laredo, and jumped in the truck, and we're going to Highway 22. It was good though, the bike ran good. I started getting sloppy at the end, man, that last 10 miles. The bike really didn't want to slow down very well and just sliding and all over the place, but it wasn't bad. So what was my time on that? Okay, damn. I told Bill it was going to take me 7 at least. That rear tire, what'd you guys figure out, right?
It's a little bit different with that Scott. You just don't shove it in. You got to kind of bring it up from the bottom and bring the caliper in. So 2 different pits couldn't do it.
Really? Appreciate you guys coming out there, man. That was fucking pretty cool, dude.
Yeah. We were like, hey man, he may want to change it for that Rocky segment.
Yeah. Dude, I stopped twice for 2 broken down riders. No, the first guy I stopped was trying to talk to me in Spanish. The one guy's like, I need a 17 millimeter. And I'm like, I got nothing for you, buddy. I'm sorry. He's out. He's way the fuck out there, dude. He's out in the middle of nowhere.
Last minute water in.
I'm good, thanks, bro.
Hey, Bill, got a copy?
We haven't heard from him yet.
I bet he still has it. 45 minutes.
You think so?
Yeah.
You got water? You're all good?
Yeah. Oh God, man.
Yeah.
So crazy, dude.
Maybe we should walk down out of the road if we get some.
Watch your back.
Oh my God.
Super bad spot to be in, dude. Those things go fast, man.
How was your section? Pretty good?
Yeah, it was good, man. Bike's awesome, man. Thing runs so damn good, dude. The lights are unbelievable. I mean, those lights, I just can't even. I mean, they're awesome.
Who built them lights?
They're rigid.
Them are rigid?
They're just bitching. I can't. I don't have a single bad thing to say about them, man.
So, where do you sit in your class? Second?
Third.
Third?
Yeah, third. Yeah, I fully expected to give Bill the bike this time right here. So we're way ahead. And then yeah, to get to Puente Conejo, it'll take just under 3 hours. Meet Bill there and ride the bike into La Paz from there.
Rogue to Bill, you out there? Calling us when he was within a mile,
Okay.
so we'll see.
Is this him? There we go. Yep, it definitely is. We were behind 403?
No.
Is this him? Maybe.
first started off, it was good, and it just got, I mean, literally, it was wipe my goggles, gas it, wipe it, gas, I mean, it was fucking rough section right there. Ready. Miles, brother.
Yeah,
Bike.
almost there.
You guys racing or what?
Have fun. So I just handed the bike off to Bill at the last Honda pit, 19, and he's got another 60 miles into the finish. We're heading into La Paz to meet him. You know, it ramped up slowly, and then boom, then it's over. But it's a great experience, man. Looking for Road 409. Are you out there? Nothing yet.
So our bike's on the last stage, and we should be expecting him any second. I'm stoked, but I've been up for like 30 hours, so the enthusiasm it's there, but come on.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Happy you're here.
Thank you. So that was great, man. We finished. That was our whole goal for this, and that's a huge congrats to Steve because he pretty much put this thing together. So that's pretty awesome. Hey, where's the beer and the water?
Great race. We had a great team. Todd Abertowski, Steve Fuller, Chuck, Bill Witt, great group of sponsors, and of course all of our chase crew, all our support. I mean, we can't do it without those guys. They're the guys behind the scenes that make it all happen, you know. You know, the cool thing about being down here is all the fans out on the race course. I mean, literally from the time I left San Ignacio, there was probably 200,000 people from there to here. It's cool to see that they're so into it out here, you know. It's a great time being down here in Baja, just experiencing all this. Everything just went real smooth and we ran a good race. Not bad, I mean, for a first time.